These slides are all from the first month or two, well, the first month that I was at Mary Free Bed. This is my room. To the camera's left would be the bathroom, had a roll-in shower. Camera right was the couch that Sarah slept on for 6 months. And there was a window there that looked out onto some churches. In front of me was a board that would show my schedule and just a lot of information about who my doctors were and the nurse on call and all that. And behind me you can kind of see the wallpaper is like a forest scene, and every room had that, and mine just happened to be forest. I could never enjoy that, but it was good for my guests, I suppose, to see that. A lot of, just a regular hospital bed, a lot of gadgets in there. Not sure you can see, I had pumps for my feet and stuff like that to protect them. Now this is closer to my birthday. Sarah put out a plea to have everybody send me a card for my birthday on September 22nd. And boy, did you come through. There's me with all my cards, and the gentleman who delivered the mail every day, just a volunteer, he couldn't believe how many cards we got. He had never seen so many. We saw him when we were there the other day interviewing the OT and the PT, and he remembered us and couldn't believe how much mail we had. This is my daily schedule. They handed this out the night before, tell me what time I have my various therapies and who they were with and when. And like I said, I had the most therapies of anybody there, and that's what I wanted to do. Next up is me and my sling. That's the only way they could get me out of bed. I was, my legs and arms weren't of much use, and so they would slide that sling underneath me, and there was a lift on the ceiling that could slide around. So they'd lift me up and put me down into my wheelchair and get me back out of that wheelchair. When I would do I have to go to the bathroom, the bowel program, they would use that sling and lift me up and put me down into like a toilet chair that I would use for that. I looked pretty happy there. It was kind of cool floating through there, I have to admit. Now you can see that same thing. I'm in the sling and sitting in my wheelchair. They would leave the sling right there because they would have to use that same sling when I went into therapy to get me out and onto like a mat table to do some stretching or balancing, which you'll see here at the end. But that's how I got around. There was no other way for me to get in and out of my chair. So here I am in a rental chair. I drove it left-handed at first, and you can see that little T-bar there. That's how I drove it, and I had to have, my legs were kind of strapped together there so they didn't flop out. I really had no control over them. Really not much else to say about that. You can pretty much see, here it is. Every once in a while they'd turn me loose and I would walk outside. That's a therapist to the left, and Andy and Allison to the right of the picture. And then our friend the Ducharmes behind me along with my dad. But yeah, I'd go outside and I would sit in the sun and just try and enjoy when we had nice weather. Now, this made me the envy of everyone in the hospital. I just wanted some simple Velcro shoes, and Sarah bought me some, but they were so ugly that my great niece, Adeline, she had to bling them up for me, so she did that for me. There's Ashley. If you saw the interview with her, you're already familiar, and this is when we were just first working, and she is stretching my hands. And now this next one you're going to see, this is the bike that we kind of talked about in the interview. There was all kinds of electrodes on me, and I would pedal that bike, and there was like pictures on there, and I could tell how far I was going in, you know, revolutions and in miles and things like that. But we did that, 3 times a week, I think. And so you can see how my hands are all wrapped up, and there could be resistance on that bike, but early on, like in this case, I had electrodes on there, and they were helping me move my arms more than me being able to do it myself. And again, that is Ashley working with me. And now you're going to see some videos. So as you look at these videos that are coming up, I want you to notice how little I could do. We spent weeks and weeks and weeks just sitting on the edge of the mat, trying to balance, just doing these things that seem like nothing to me. I hated doing it because it seemed like we were doing so little. But I've since learned how important it was to strengthen my core.
Got it?
Okay. Yeah,
you and I did this one. 1, sync and up. 2, 3, 4.
So I have you set for 10 minutes.
6.
The clock is right here. Keep this number 30 or more.
Okay. Listen. Okay, now pull with your bicep. Go ahead and have a look. Boom! Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that nice?
I'm impressed. He's moving quite a bit more.
Yeah. Good, Keith. Try coming forward again. Yep. Good. Get that arm out there.
Good. Kind of punch from your shoulder blade.
Yep. And come back. Pulling that elbow. Pinch those shoulder blades together. Good. Move forward. Good. Good. Throw the arm right there.
Good. So that brings back the punch out to Kara. I'm going to bring you back into your balance point, which is right about here. Good. That's it, Keith.
Good.
It's really minimal to moderate, I guess, there.
Mm-hmm.
Here's balance point again. Let off. Yes, he's doing that. You were tending to go forward and you squeezed. These things kind of double back. How you doing?
Waiting for him.
They gave me a trick. I would lean forward like this if I try it. Take a deep breath, it kind of pushes me back a little bit.
Yep. So how much support is back there, Tracy? Do you feel like total yet?
No.
Okay, nice. So you were doing. Try to. How do I say this? Still breathe. Maybe breathe a little more shallow, because I want to see if we can find your balance point. Okay, that's good to know actually. So all right, so you're leaning. Can you feel how you're going a little bit left? Try to use your head and shoulders to go to the right a little bit. So use your head. I know you're in the collar, so I don't mean like to crank your head, but. So by using like whatever muscles, shoulder movement, you can kind of try to like focus your body to go one way or the other. Yeah.